I mean, if you wonder why this team's having trouble struggling offensively, maybe it's because they hired a defensive coach to be their offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you wonder why they look so terrible, maybe that's it. And I'll tell you what, waiting for this team to come back is like waiting for your ex-wife to come back. It ain't happening.
Hey, Daddy, thanks.
I'll say this. When you don't want it to.
At the game when the Patriots had the ball, it always felt like the end zone was so far away.
Right, Mego?
Get a little personal here.
You don't want her to?
Hell no.
But how far away is the end zone when this team has the ball? Right? You just sort of like, it's like, man, it's way down there.
It's like, you know those?
It's way down there.
Also, it's like, woo, it looks totally farther.
The Bills get the ball, and you're like, it ain't that far for them. Because it's going to be a 20-yard play at some point.
I actually felt like they could have. There's nothing that you could have done to really stop them. If especially if they didn't want you to. Like they really could have done anything they wanted to. Mm-hmm. I don't think they were limited in any regard as far as that goes.
Let's go to Mike in Jersey Shore. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Good.
Look, last night, there's no other words to say, but boy, this is a terrible rebuild, and this rebuild is hard enough after 20 years of dominance. But what we saw last night, this could be it for maybe 2-3 years if things don't change. And when I say things don't change, I think Mr. Kraft has to make a decision whether you're going to keep the best coach or do you go another way. So, Christian, what's your feeling on that?
As far as what, the head coach? I'm going to save my opinion for that for 3 o'clock. So I want you to stay tuned because Lou actually brought this up, and I have some opinions on 3 o'clock. But just before we get to we all believe is happening in real time right now, Ryan, cue the yo-ho music.
Wow, this is intense.
Yeah, this is actually Mego wanted this. I did not want this. I want something so much differently. But cut it just for a second. Just for a second. I need to be serious.
That is not what I thought was coming.
I thought something maybe more exciting than that.
No, she wanted.
Hold on, what's more exciting than this? What are you guys talking about?
This is like the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
What are we doing?
She wanted this stupid song music.
I was talking about the Pirates of the Caribbean with like Johnny Depp.
Okay, totally different.
Sounds like I'm at Disney. Right now.
Yes, this is what I was talking about.
This stinks. I like the first one better.
Yeah, same with me.
Can you hear the other one? Just right.
Oh my God.
She completely.
Everybody line up. It's just single file.
Oh my God, there's 5 seats. Okay, there's 5 rows.
Parents, please have your children's tickets ready.
Can I put my hand in the water? No. Oh my God. Real quick, hold on. Okay, before we get we get to what that actually means. Okay, just to be fair and and just an honest and open. As far as degree of difficulty for the offense in this game, you already had your issues on offense, right? Is your coordinator, right? That's been there for the whole time. I think it was probably the worst offensive line grouping under the circumstances that I have ever seen this team have in 20 years. Easily. Connor McDermott was on the Jets practice squad. They pulled him up and said, you think you can do us a solid and start at right tackle? I mean, think about that.
Okay,
not swing guy.
Think about that.
Whose call
I
is
want
that?
you to start.
Not give me 10 plays.
Owenu, whatever, is what it is. Andrews is basically 50%. Cole Strange is just a myth to me. He doesn't know what's going on. And Trent Brown literally just wants to just go back to this being fat and lazy.
Paul, will you hold me?
Somebody hold Cole Strange.
It's ugly.
So I just wanted to throw that in there. I want to discuss that later. But Ryan?
No, the other one.
No. All right.
So obviously the story coming out of this game, too, is one Mac Jones. So the camera's catching him on the sidelines, yelling to his right to somebody or whatever you want to call it, throw the effing ball. The effing quick game sucks. Clear as day, pissed off Mac Jones. So, of course, when the game was over, he was asked about it, tried to,
explain himself.
Tried to explain himself, and this was it.
Obviously, just kind of let my emotions get to me, but, we're kind of playing from behind, and what I said was about throwing it deeper in the short game. I got to execute that part better, but it's the short game that we kept going to, which was working. But I felt like we needed chunk plays, and, I shouted that out to kind of get everyone going. And that's emotional. That's football. I'm passionate about this game. And obviously, you don't want to get your emotions get the best of you. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Like, it wasn't directed at anybody. Just
Stop
emotion
talking.
coming out, and we kind of needed a spark. So when you're playing from behind against a really good team and a good offense, you need to go out there and make better plays, and that starts with me. So definitely wasn't good enough by me tonight, and all you can do is watch the tape and see where we can get better. But playing catch-up's hard. We didn't want to do that all game, and I didn't do a good enough job getting ahead early and making it work. So tough one, but hats off to the Bills for playing a good game.
Does anybody believe him? Like when he says it wasn't directed to one person.
Oh, it was.
It was directed to the team to fire up my mates.
Yeah.
So do you think like when he's screaming that, you think David Andrews is like, you're right, I'm sorry. Like, you know what I mean? Like does Hunter Henry like, Mac, you're correct. You fired me up. You're right.
Yeah.
I got to stop running my short routes. I got to run the long ones. No.
Yeah.
We know who he's yelling at. We know the group of people he's yelling at. Patricia, Judge, maybe Bill. I don't know. But does anyone believe he's yelling at to fire up his troops?
So funny because that is such a passive-aggressive way, obviously, of like, yelling at your coordinator without yelling at your coordinator. So you're going to look to your right. You're going to look to all the guys sitting on the bench and say, you guys better call better plays. These plays suck.
To Andrews.
To Andrews, yeah. And then, hey, Connor McDermott. Dude, I just got here, man. I want a better play. A better series.
I want to throw the ball downfield.
This is all. Yeah, this is all directed at Matt Patricia. It's finally happening, everybody. Yeah, there's two things that are happening. One, he's starting to lose his mind. So the John McEnroe that we all talked about, that little tick, 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 that ticking time bomb.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen. Like he's going to just take his racket. And he's going to hit all the Gatorade.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
that ball was on the line. Chalk flew up.
That's him. I'm telling you, it's here. So that's one aspect of it. But the other aspect of it, so just dissecting that, is the beginning of what I think we all think is a mutiny. It's like him acting out publicly. He's so aware, someone who's so hyper aware of everybody, what he says, how he looks, his body language, his mannerisms. He knows eyeballs are on him, so he's real careful. He finally said, F it.
You got the absolute pits of the world, you know that?
He said, F it. This is his way of saying F you.
Right.
Like if you're not gonna listen to me in meetings, I'm gonna shame the hell out of it. I'm gonna get everybody on my side. That is what a mutiny is.
You know what I say to that? Good for Mac. Thank God. Because he's had to look what's happened to him this season.
Mm-hmm.
He gets laid out on his back the first game.
Oh yeah,
and then he's playing with this crappy coordination by committee and everything. And
it's a collaboration.
Knows it's not working. He knows it's not working in real time.
Patricia's a genius.
We talked to Dan Orlovsky way back in like week 2 or 3, and he said as a quarterback, the worst feeling is when you go out there and you know the play that they're calling just doesn't freaking work, and you're lining up and you're like, this ain't it. And that's what Mac was doing, game in and game out and looking like crap. And then he gets injured, has his face splashed all over every paper and website crying, and is out with the ankle injury. And while that happens, the whole state and seemingly half the coaching staff falls in love with Bailey Zappi, the backup. And then he comes back in and has to deal with more of this crap and listen to Mike Lombardi go on his podcast and talk about how he's too much of a Y guy and how he's not going to have a job in the NFL anymore.
See, my question
that sounds even worse now than I think about it.
What's that?
Oh my God!
The Michael Lombardi, how he's trying to.
You're naive.
So
how you're
naive
to blame the coaches who have never freaking done it before.
I know, but
with the second-year quarterback. So let me say this.
Go ahead.
Good for Mac. I loved seeing that.
Do we know?
I was watching it.
I think I'm with you.
I was watching it on the sideline, and I was watching what was happening with him coming over to the bench towards the end of the game, sitting by himself. I sent you guys a picture. The two derpy boys are like talking to each other for upwards like over 5 minutes. This is late in the fourth quarter.
What do you think,
He's
Matt?
just sitting there by himself.
I don't know. I'm going to move my hands around like I'm really upset.
After teammate, they're like coming over to him, essentially trying to like dap him up, being like, hey, bro, you're all right. You're all right. He's just sitting there in like misery. And I'm like, look what you did to this kid. Look what you did. So I like it. I want him dropping F-bombs. I want him yelling at the air. I'd like to see him go up and yell in Matt Patricia's face. Or just take Joe Judge's like camo hat and just throw it on the ground and start stomping on the hat. How you like that, Joe? How you like that?
Do we even know when that outburst happened?
Did we get a quarter?
'Cause I'm at the game, and I felt like it was almost like the post game, right? They found that type of thing. I don't even know.
It's weird. I don't know either because I was doing the post game.
I think it was late.
So I would say
this.
this is probably when it happened to me. Remember like when you're sitting there with 12 minutes to go and they punted 4th and 7 on their own 46? It was 3rd and 15. And they call a play, and they have everybody running, and it's like Jacoby Myers for like 8 to create like a 4th and 7. It's like, okay, why are we running this play if we're not going for it? You know what I mean? Like if it's 3rd and 14 or 15, why do we have all these underneath routes, to get to 4th and 4, 4th and 5, 4th and 6 if we're not going to go to it, if we're not going to run it? And correct me if I'm wrong, because a lot of people, they just sort of feel like Mac's the one checking down. That this is him checking down. But aren't there plays in which wide receivers are sort of just taking everybody to open up, the short pass routes? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
is he checking down, or are these first looks? That's why they're running him. Quick little 5-yard pass.
The bigger issue is when you get to that 3rd down, put it on a T-shirt. It's 3rd and unmanageable. How many times was it 3rd and longer than 9 last night? Over and over and over again. You put them in terrible position on 3rd down.
But again, are those checkdowns in your opinion?
With
are these the plays? No, with 3rd and 15, he hits Jacoby Myers over the middle for 8 yards.
No,
and
I
think if we're calling this play, then we're obviously going for it, correct?
Okay, yeah, but think about it. 3rd and 15. If I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm like, well, they got to get 15 yards. Let them catch it at 8. I don't care. Nothing's going to get over our head. Right. So you just don't. That's why 3rd and 15 is such a low percentage completion.
I get it, but when you're down 24-7, you figure, okay, we're not going to get it all back now. We're going to get back on 2 plays. We're going to try to get 8 to 10 now, and then we're going to go 4th and 5. We're going to go for it. So you go 4th and 15. You throw an 8-yard pass, and Mac's on the field. Next thing you know, they're like, punt. And he's over there like, what? And then maybe he goes into silent at that point. He's like, short game, quick game, whatever, sucks. Throw the ball down the field. It's 3rd and 15. Why are we putting plays where I have 2 wide receivers at the 7, 8-yard mark if we're not going to go for it?
Yeah. The thing is that you can't hide it anymore. So, and I don't think he is capable of keeping it in anymore, especially when it's this bad, when it's that bad.
All right. So Mac was bad. Kendrick Bourne.
Or great.
Kendrick Bourne, great. Yeah, was another one.
Say that. I love that.
Play the one. I think it's the first cut we have on the sheet here. Because they were asked him about 3rd down struggles. Now again, Mego, to your point, there was 3rd and unmanageable, 3rd and long for a very long time. But in the locker room, they asked Kendrick Bourne, how do you be better on 3rd down? What's up with the 3rd down struggles?
Just how it goes, whatever coaches call, that's what we got to run. So we have plays. We have more plays, but I think just trying to take care of the ball, play smart, just play the play that's called. That's all I can really say. So I'm not sure.
When you say you have more plays, it does feel like sometimes the passing calls are repeat calls. Do you feel like that out there as well?
Yeah. I mean, we got to get the ball downfield. So I think Mac needs more time. He's obviously running around, so it's hard to get the ball downfield when you can't really have time for him to throw. No knock to the line. It's just what we need to work on. The receivers can't do nothing if the ball can't get downfield. If we can't throw it past 5 yards, it's just going to be a long game. And shout out to the Bills. They did a great job, controlling the clock, keeping us off the field, keeping us kind of cold and stagnant. It was a great game plan they had. And we just got to be able to get the ball downfield. Like you said, we have plays, but we can't get to them. We're calling them, but they're just not working. So it looks, we're throwing 5-yard routes, and that's what we catch it. So it looks one way. But hopefully we can get Mac more time so that he can make the plays.
There's a lot there.
I'm trying to think of how far back do I need to go. So, okay, so the first thing is I'm not going to knock the O-line, but I'm going to knock the O-line.
Well, one point he said the 3rd down.
I'm not going to knock the O-line. I just did.
He said we need to scheme better. One point in this conversation. So, what does that tell you?
Well, that's all in your coordinators. You need to scheme better.
All of it.
I think they know. Listen, we know what our limitations are. We know there's issues. So we need you as coaches to be a little bit more clever. Be a little bit more, intuitive as to what we need and how we can get about it. More motions, more crossing routes. I don't know. You're the offensive coordinator, not me. I was not paid to draw up plays. I can give you suggestions, but it's not my job to stay here late at night game planning. And to me, there's a part in the game where they showed Matt Patricia on TV. You guys probably didn't see it. What?
I want to play this real quick because of Kendrick Bourne. This is the sound that I was thinking about when they asked him about do they need to play different on third down. This is what he said.
Do you guys have to do something drastically different on third down, Kendrick? I think it's 3 for 10 last week, 3 for 12 this week.
Yeah, man, we just need to scheme up better. We need to know what they're doing. We need to know what they want to do on third down. You know what I mean? We're kind of sporadic. They call this and we call that, and it falls right into what they want. You know what I mean? We need to have it where they're falling into what we want, and things like that. So I said, that's not my job. My job is just run the call. But as we all can see, they had, 30 first down, and we only had 8. So, something they were doing against us was working, and something we were doing against them wasn't working. So, it's just about figuring it out each week. So we still got life, but we need to hurry up and pick it up.
See, that to me is the one. We need to scheme better.
Yeah, that one's better.
We need to know what they're doing. We need to know what they want to do on third down. They call this, we call that. It falls right into what they want. And you know what? I don't know. I just run the play they call. I know it ain't going to work, because our offensive coordinators suck. But I just run what they call. But we're running plays right into what they want us to do. It's basically what he's saying.
That is about as. And does anyone feel vindicated more than this guy?
Oh my God!
Does anybody feel like I told you, this is my I told you so moment? And now you're thinking about when I saw this, I was like, he ain't playing next week. He's going to be a healthy scratch next week.
Yeah.
Who cares? He doesn't care at this point.
No, I don't think he does either, because I feel like he feels more powerful that he was right. This is not the way we do it, and I called you guys out, and you kind of muzzled me.
And if Kendrick Bourne has a good agent, it won't matter. Look at what he did 2 years ago with Josh McDaniels. You want to judge him based on 22-23 season? No. Everybody and their brother in football knows what's going on here. That the imbeciles are running the show, that they don't know what they're doing, and they arguably probably have kept their best weapon wide receiver off the field all year long in Kendrick Bourne.
Well, Lou, I think that's a big part of it.
Oh.
What happened, don't forget that
because
happened
you missed a meeting in camp?
It was the
still there?
It was the only game on. You had Al Michaels on there going, I don't really know what's happening here in front of me.
Here's the good news. To play off of that, you know what? This week they play Monday night. Next week, rather. And then after that, they're still scheduled to play Sunday night against the Raiders. I don't know if you flex that thing out or if the McDaniels-Belichick thing is just too juicy. But as of right now, you're supposed to be playing prime time the next 2 weeks. People nationally are going to be able to see this football team, and only this football team, for the next 2 weeks. You talk about exposed?
Yeah, that's it. Pantsed, exposed.
Pantsed is right.
Just looks silly. And I kind of... And I mean, pants is actually being, polite. So because it's
embarrassing.
So obvious that there's just
against teams you should probably beat.
Is it fair to say? So there's two aspects of this that I get torn. It's I don't want to really yell at the players, because the players, in my opinion, have skill. The offensive line, obvious major issues. Can't harp on it enough, right? You got guys coming off the street that weren't even in your building 9 days ago, and they just did you a solid. And then you sit there and go, so talk about the challenges. So you got an offense coordinator, which we talked about multiple times, and then you have the injuries and the replacements in the offensive line that you've talked about multiple times. Realistically, what should you expect? I feel like I was the most delusional. Well, actually, I thought they were going to lose, but I thought it would be close. And even with that, I think that's delusional. There's not a chance in hell that and then to make matters worse, I do believe 100% now, based on all the penalties, based on some of the WTF plays. So what time are we doing WTF plays?
3:20, 3:30.
3:20, 3:30. We're doing what WTF plays. Okay, you know what that means.
Stands
okay,
for.
Because there are so many of them, Luke. There were so many of them.
Football.
Yeah. What the Okay, so you ever heard the saying? See how I can say this without getting in trouble.
Okay. Think about it for a second.
We can move on and you just not say it.
You ever heard the phrase about a monkey in a football?
Yes.
No.
Okay. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You got Arcan, you guys know a monkey in a football?
I'm not familiar.
Monkey F in a football.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad you said it. I wanted to say that. A monkey effing a football.
Okay.
There's ways to say that.
Yes, okay. You don't get it, do you? It's okay. But you know what I'm talking about,
The visual's
right?
weird, right?
It's like this doesn't
look right.
Doesn't look right.
Kind of
but
be strange.
They keep trying.
That's the point.
They keep trying
Because if you give him
gotta work eventually.
Football, he doesn't know what to do with the football.
So
No.
he tries to have
Naturally,
sex with it.
He's going to try to have sex with
So he
it.
tries to
Right,
hump it,
doesn't even look like another monkey.
and then it gets weird.
Okay, you're
Then
way
it gets
too
weird.
like critical of this. You got. I mean,
Well, I'm
you're
just trying to think why he would
Let me.
do
You know
that.
what? I will explain it to you during the break.
My
Let's do
leg
that.
doesn't look like another dog, and that doesn't stop the dog. So.
It's a good point.
Mine
It's-
dog
it works.
That's a
It
good
works
point.
also.
All right, let's take a break real quick. You guys are lined up. I
Oh, wait,
promise.
hold on. Wait.
What?
Hold on. Here's a football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be the monkey.
Yeah, you do that
Okay.
during the break.
Okay.
Fauria right now is showing Mego what it looks like. Your phone calls. I swear you guys are lined up. We're going to do it next.